Originally opening in 1950 as an inland pleasure resort, Drayton Manor continued to add new attractions that all the family could enjoy. They transitioned from an amusement park into a theme park, and in the late 90s and early 2000s, they continued to innovate and add brand new attractions to the park. In 2008, they opened Europe's only Thomasland, and then continued to expand with lots more family attractions throughout the park. Over the years, we've seen Drayton Manor add so many rides, remove rides, and go through some big changes, including being bought out by the Looping Group after opening as a family-owned park and continuing for so many years. When they got took out by a different company, it really did mean what is going to happen, what was going to be the future of the park. But luckily, we've seen so much investment by the Looping Group into Drayton Manor, and some of that you're really going to see in this video. Of course, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 rides at Drayton Manor. We really have seen so much change at this park. So many rides have come and gone. I think it's clear what would have been in my top spot if it was still standing. Definitely Apocalypse. I used to adore the thing. Luckily, I've got a lot of it saved in my theme park collection. But we've got lots to talk about in this video. And as always, I would love to know your top 10 rides at Drayton Manor and your general thoughts down below in the video comments. But should we get started? We're going to go straight in with number 10, and it is Jormungandr, or previously used to be known when I was growing up as the Buffalo, albeit it did change into Jormungandr as part of the Vikings area when it opens. This is a Zamperla power coaster that opened in 1987, and yeah, like with this ride, so much fun. I always remember going on it as a kid, a power coaster heading round over that part of the park, which back then was just grass. Like the whole area before Vikings came in was nothing. It was an event space really. But the highlight for me was the big helix going out over the lake, the views looking out towards Shotway, Stormforce 10, the cable car when that used to run over, and yeah, that was just the highlight of the ride. You also used to get 2 laps as well. You only get 1 now, but yeah, that did change a few years ago. It used to be a 2-lap special, but it's just a good fun ride, and it's long as well. It's nice how it goes over what is now the entrance to Vikings, and then also down near the end, you got a good drop kind of in between the hills. It's very hidden away down there at the back of the layout. It's one of them that had a freshly sprayed train. They added some new details to it as part of Vikings, and that's when it transitioned into Jormungandr. And I'm glad that they kept it because it's a good, fun family Zamperla power coaster. Right then, into a water ride now, into 9th place, and this is the Adventure Cove River Rapids. This is an Intamin River Rapids that opened in 2021. Now, it originally opened back in 1993 as Splash Canyon. The ride was closed for a number of years, and then, of course, had a full refurbishment by Intamin. And yeah, that opened in 2021 as part of Adventure Cove. I'm so glad they made the decision to do a big refurb. It had all sorts of new ride system fitted in, brand new boats as well, pretty much a brand new ride effectively, and all the new theming and details that were added as well, including the water effects, the smells in the tunnels, and yeah, it's a good rapids. I really do like it. You know, I always enjoyed it as Splash Canyon, but I feel like as a theme package, it's a lot better now as the Adventure Cove River Rapids. Maybe I wish it had a bit of a better name instead of it sounding a bit generic, but yeah, it's a great ride, and also the fact it interacts with the wave just above it, previously Shockwave, but yeah, it's nice how that was designed. And back when this opened in 1993, originally a Splash Canyon, all the foundations were put in because of course they knew that the coaster was going to come in the year after in 94, so it was all designed really well. Of course, both attractions came from Intamin as well, so it was all worked into the layout there. Amazing design at the time to think, right, we're going to put the rapids in the year before, all the foundations, and then it means we can put the coaster on top of it the year after. Love stuff like that when they really think about it. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable ride. The water effects can get you quite wet. You don't normally get that wet from the ride system itself, but you got some good wave machines on there. It's quite slow at points, but then you have got a little drop as well, which is great. And the tunnel is nice as well with the smell pods that they've got in there. Into 8th place now, and we've got a flat ride. This is Air Race. It's a Zamperla Air Race that opened in 2014. This was really the last kind of thrill ride that was put in by the O'Brien family that owned the park for so many years. And yeah, they put this ride in. At the time, it was quite a tight spot because you had G-Force next door still standing. That probably wouldn't have even been in my list. It was that bad. But yeah, like they put it into that tight spot, replaced the old Black Revolver. If you remember that, an indoor like spinning ride, which was good, spinning barrel ride. But yeah, they put this in. Really good attraction. I do like Air Race. Of course, we've gone on to have quite a few of these around now. You see them at theme parks all around the world. We've got a few here in the UK, but no, I do like a good Zamperla Air Race. Again, I wish it had a bit better of a name. It wasn't generic. That's the thing with Drayton Manor. Some of the rides are a bit generic names, but they have got some good attractions. The theming on this is nice. Again, it's the stock theming from Zamperla. It looks like a lighthouse in the middle. There's all the lights in the floor, and it's quite forceful. Like, you have got quite big, full, bulky restraints on there. That Zamperla do. I wish Zamperla could really work on the restraints a bit more, but what you get is some good force, especially when you're going over, and sometimes you'll get some good hang time as well, because it almost doesn't make it over and you get some really good hang time. Then it'll spin the other way round as well for the latter part of the ride. You always get a good cycle on there as well, which I really do appreciate. But yeah, Air Race there in 8th place. Right then, we've got a dark ride now in 7th spot, and that is Sheriff's Showdown. This is an IE Park interactive dark ride that's been there for 26 years now, opened in year 2000. It was previously the Golden Nugget Wild West Shootout. Golden Nuggets, remember when it was sponsored by them? It was on the logo, Golden Nugget. But yeah, it did get rethemed into Sheriff's Showdown, and we did see some changes. One of the biggest changes back then was actually putting in a big star cloth in the ceiling to give it like a night sky effect, which is really nice. And then yeah, as you're going in, it is one big building. You can see a lot of the ride, but you've got lots of themes like chuck wagons, saloon, a bank, all sorts of different things, some horse animatronics, signs that spin round. What I like with this interactive shooter is the fact that when you're shooting things, you can actually see things happen. You don't just get a score, you get to see movement, you know, as you're hitting the targets, which I do really like. And for me, that's how an interactive ride should be. I like seeing things move, sound effects go off, that sort of thing. It's like a Vulcan at the end that like tips over, all that sort of stuff I really do enjoy. And yeah, it's a very nicely themed ride, good soundtrack, and of course you get a bonus on there. If you know, you know. But no, it's a very good ride, and always enjoy getting back on Sheriff's Showdown. And of course that paved the way for expanding with Frontier Falls, the Wild West themed area. At the time, you know, Drayton Manor didn't really do themed areas, and that's something that the Looping Group have really focused on with Adventure Cove, Vikings, and of course Frontier Falls as well. So hopefully we'll see more of that in the future. I'd like to see the pirate area in the centre of the park have a bit of a refresh, bring back Pirate Adventure. But yeah, like that would be fantastic to see, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what happens in the coming years under Looping Group's investment. Right then, let's make our way into our next spot. It's another roller coaster. It's 6th place. This is Accelerator. Now, it's a Vekoma family boomerang that opened in 2011. This ride did originally open as Ben 10 Ultimate Mission roller coaster, and you can still tell it was Ben 10 because it's got a green track. Why they didn't repaint it, I don't know. Well, it's got to be budget reasons, but I really would love to see Drayton Manor paint that. It looks so much better. It still sticks out like a sore thumb in the Wild West area, Frontier Falls. That would be a big highlight, repainting it. They have tried to fit it in with like an electricity theme, but yeah, it's very loose. It needs a good repaint. That I think like a dark orange would look good for that. Dark orange colour. I think that'd go really nice with the light brown track that they've got on Gold Rush nearby. But yeah, it's a great ride. Top speed of 37 miles an hour. Head up the lift hill backwards. Awesome views looking out at Vikings, and also as well Gold Rush that obviously opened a few years ago. And then you head back through some really good twists and turns, a little double up, and then you come back through the layout backwards as well. I do like a good family boomerang, great family coasters, and yeah, I always enjoy getting on it when I'm at Drayton Manor. But yeah, it definitely needs some more theming. It's very mixed matched at the moment. Like on one side, it's still got like a racing car theme. On the other side, it fits in with Frontier Falls. Yeah, it's very loose. It definitely needs sorting out in the future, so hopefully they will do that with Accelerator. Okay then, we're now at the halfway point. We're going in for another classic dark ride now. This is the Haunted at 5th place. This is a Vekoma Madhouse that opened in 1996. It was actually the first of its kind in the UK. All we'd ever had in the UK, what was similar, was the Haunted Swing at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but that was a completely different ride really, how it worked and everything. But it was similar in an aspect of that's kind of inspired Vekoma to do what they did with the Madhouses. The first one opened as Villa Volta at Efteling in the Netherlands. These were the craze. Everyone was buying them at the time. Alton Towers went on to buy one a few years later. But no, this was the first of its kind in the UK. And the haunting's great. The facade is incredible. You see this big mansion house. You walk in the truck. You've got the pre-show in there with Dr. X and everything. And then you head through a few different pre-show scenes before you get on the ride. You go down a corridor, which has got all smoke inside, atmospheric music. Big skeletons come down from the ceiling. And then you're into a library scene with all projection mapping. The floor moves side to side. There's some big mirrors that come down on the side as well. It's very immersive. It's a fantastic dark ride, the Haunted. I really do enjoy it. And I think so many people miss it when they go to the park because they don't either know it's there because it's very hidden, and also some people wait and wait and wait, and then the doors don't open for like about every 15 minutes to let people in. All it needs is a little countdowner saying how long until the next batch. That's what I'd put in anyway, so people know, because a lot of people just bail on the queue and then don't experience it. And it's a really good ride, the Haunting. And then you make your way onto the actual ride system itself. Again, that's got projections, and it was updated. It had loads of changes and updates over the years. And it went through a stage of having like a full storyline update. They've now gone a bit back to how it was originally. They've made all sorts of changes. We had like Dr. Ghostman in there for a while, and Pink Flower and Mug he had in the pre-show and everything. It was, it's gone through all that ride. But no, Dr. X is back now. And on the ride system itself, you've got that classic music, and then you go side to side, simulating the fact that you're going all the way over, because as we all know with the madhouses, you don't, but it's that motion, it makes it look like you do. So you swing back and forwards, a bit like a pirate ship, but quite slowly. Then as you're swinging, the room is spinning round as well to give you the illusion that you're going fully upside down. At the end, you've got like this coffin in the middle, this crypt that opens up, and then you've got like a hand what comes out from there. Like they've changed it over the years. At one point I think it was a head, then hand, and yeah, they always change stuff on that ride. Out of all the rides at Drayton Manor, the Haunting has had the most changes. I think every time you go on, it can be a bit different. And that's sometimes like if an effect's not working or it's been replaced or some lighting, some new audio. Yeah, they've messed about with the Haunting so much over the years. But it's a great ride. I'm glad it's still going strong, and it has been since 1996. Okay then, into fourth place now, and it's the major water ride at the park, Storm Force 10. Oh, it's a soaker. This was built by Bear Rides and opened in 1999. This was a replacement to a previous log flume they used to have. I briefly remember it. I don't think I ever went on it. I was too small, but they did have like a standard log flume there with some rock work round. This was a replacement. They actually teamed up with the RNLI, the lifeboats here in the UK for this. And that's what makes it. You sit in a lifeboat where it looks like a lifeboat. And I really like that. Very quirky, unique theme. At the start of the ride, it tilts up. And then you drop down the first drop. So instead of going up a lift hill at the start, that's great. You then meander around. And then you've got one of the wettest moments on any water ride I've ever experienced. The backwards drop. So you go into this big like oil rig tower on a turntable, and then you spin round, come down backwards. It's not even that big of a drop. It's maybe 40 foot maybe, and you get absolutely dripping wet through, especially at the back. But any row you're going to get wet. The back two rows, like, you soak for the day. Like, but that's what makes it. Like, it is brilliant. I do absolutely love it. But yeah, Storm Force 10 is a soaker. Then you make your way round. You got all the final lift hill. You go very slow around the top, and then an excellent double drop there at the end into the lake. And that's the thing with this ride. You do actually drop into the lake water, which isn't the most appealing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you do absolutely stink sometimes when you come off Storm Force 10, because the water does stink. It really does. In this day and age, it wouldn't be allowed to be built like that. It'd have to have like filter systems and everything like that, or would it have to have been separate from the lake, but it was a different time, wasn't it, back then? Things have changed so much in the industry over the years and how things are built. At the time, that's just how it was done. But Storm Force 10, brilliant ride, overall package is great, theming's excellent, the big lighthouse on there as well is so good, and yeah, I always enjoy my rides on there. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Right then, we're into third place then now. The top three rides out of my top 10 at Drayton Manor, and it is The Wave. Now, this originally opened as Shockwave. It was built by Intamin and opened in 1994, and it was originally a stand-up roller coaster. It was the first of its kind in Europe, and the only stand-up coaster to feature a zero-G roll. After 30 years, the park decided to make some changes to it, and of course make it more of a family thrill coaster, and actually reduce the height restriction from 1.4 to 1.2, which would fit more with the demographic of Drayton Manor. So in 2024, it reopened as The Wave in Adventure Cove, and you know what? They did a very good job of this. The train was built by Art Engineering, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit worried thinking, how's this actually going to ride? Is it going to be that good? But honestly, they did an excellent job. Art Engineering, pat yourselves on the back. The train is great. It's very comfortable. Restraints come down. It has got like a shin guard round, but it's not uncomfortable at all. And actually, I feel like it rides even better now. You just got a lap bar. When it was a stand-up coaster, don't get me wrong, it was unique. It was a reason for thrill seekers to travel there. But having it like it is now, overall, it just fits in a lot better with the park. It really does. And it's actually a more smooth and enjoyable ride. Stand-up coasters, you know, come on, they're just not very comfortable. They're not the most enjoyable. The newer ones from B&M are great, like the Pipeline, the Surf Coaster at SeaWorld Orlando. It's a very good ride. But I still think you just can't beat a just like standard sitting coaster. So this is better than it was before, in my opinion. It's still kept the 4 inversions. You drop down to the left, good drop. Nice large loop. It is a big one, actually. And then you're into the 0G roll, which again, you get a good whip on there. Even though it's not a stand-up anymore, you still get a good whip. And then you make your way round into the final couple of inversions, which are 2 corkscrews, and then a very sharp break at the end. Not quite as sharp as it used to be, but still a very sharp break. It's a great ride. I really do like the wave and what they did with it. Theming package is good. They added a billboard round, so it looks like you kind of crash through that whilst you're surfing, which is great. And yeah, I think in an ideal world, how cool would it have been if they'd have had a sit-down train and a stand-up train? It has only got 1 train now, but how cool would that be if they bought another sit-down train and then they could run either? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Or you could just pick which one you wanted to go on. That'd be great. You queue to the left for sit-down, queue to the right for stand-up. That would have kept everybody happy, wouldn't it? But no, I can see why they did it. It's a great ride, the wave, and yeah, certainly one of my favourites at Drayton Manor. Right then, we're into the second place spot now, and this goes to Gold Rush. This is an intimate family launch coaster that opened in 2024 as part of the Frontier Falls area, that Wild West area that I spoke about earlier on. They did a beautiful job with that area. As soon as you walk up to the ride, all the buildings on the left are all nicely themed. Of course, you've got Sheriff Showdown opposite. You've got blasting barrels at the back. So it's a full package area. But this is the anchor ride, the anchor attraction. And it's lovely. Like we walk up towards it, you got the big sign. The queue line's great because you go up underneath the coaster through like all these mine tunnels, and then you can look out over the ride itself. They've even got a little gravestone to remember Apocalypse that used to stand in that location. The huge Intamin drop tower that, you know, I do miss. In an ideal world, they would have kept both rides, the drop tower and the coaster, but they didn't. It had to go to make way for this. And yeah, I do feel like it was a worthy replacement, what they put in here. Of course, it's got 2 different settings, Gold Rush, on this Intamin family launch coaster. So yeah, it can do all sorts of different things. You've got a setting where it goes backwards down the drop, others where it goes over first. It can do all sorts of different things and come in different ways, which is really cool. The launches on there are very good as well, which is fantastic. And it's a good long ride. Something that we don't really get very often in the UK is length to our rides. We have a lot of shorter coasters, so that's why it's always nice when we do get a coaster with good length to it in this country. And that's exactly what Gold Rush is. It's so much fun. It's got some really good twists and turns. The launches are actually got some good kick to it, and I really like the whole kind of dynamite building what you go into, because you launched out backwards, then you launch back through forwards. It's got a real good kick to it, that has. Nice lap bar restraints on there. I like the airtime that you get, some nice floater airtime on that main hill in the main section. And yeah, overall, it's a very enjoyable coaster that so many people can experience. It's only got a metre height restriction. I can't wait till we can take joys on these rides. It's going to be so good. But yeah, like what they did with the theming on there is great. The soundtrack, the storyline, it was a worthy replacement to Apocalypse, and I was thinking, oh, nothing's ever going to replace that. And of course, you know, I still miss it. I wish that was there as well. But what they put in with this is absolutely brilliant. Gold Rush definitely deserves its spot in second place, and it's got 2 different cycles as well. Yeah, I do love it. Which cycle do you before? Let me know down in the video comments. Okay then, on to my number 1 ride at Drayton Manor. In fact, you can see it there just behind me. It's Maelstrom. This is an Intamin gyro swing that opened in 2002. That's the thing for them number of years. Again, massive investments going in. Like every other year, putting in big coasters and theming upgrades. The fact they turned from a paper ride, like inland pleasure park, into a full theme park. Fair play to the Bryans that built that park up. I still think it's sad that they don't own it now, but the Looping Group have done a brilliant job with investing in there too. Unfortunately, the Bryans did lose their way with the park, and it's sad because, you know, they made some great decisions in the late 90s, early 2000s, including Maelstrom. So yeah, this Intamin gyro swing, it's got outward facing seats, outward facing frisbee ride, which is excellent. It swings up to 74 feet. I love pendulum rides, frisbees, gyro swings, so this is great. And Intamin build the best ones of these in my opinion. As much as we've got a much bigger one coming to Pleasure Beach next year, a Victor's, I can't wait for that. It's almost double the swing from Maelstrom. This will still be a great ride because I love the theming of this. It's got like a surfing theme. It's good fun. It fits in with Adventure Cove. And this is one of the reasons why they expanded on this theme with with that whole area. Drayton Manor, you know, 6-7 years ago wasn't about themed areas other than Thomas Land, and the Looping Group have really tried to build on that, which I do really appreciate. And yeah, they expanded on Adventure Cove because of this ride and Stormforce 10. They all kind of, you know, pushed out and made the full themed area, which is fantastic. But yeah, the forces you get on here are great. It's also a very long cycle normally as well. It has got a shorter one, but when it's running the long one, it's brilliant. It's an absolutely incredible flat ride. I can't wait for Victus at Pleasure Beach though next year. I'm sure that is going to be absolutely brilliant. But there we go. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know your top 10 rides at Drayton Manor down below in the video comments. How much does your list vary to mine? I'd be really interested to know. There's just so many like brilliant attractions at that park, a real good family park, and yeah, I would love to know how your list compares. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Honestly, we really appreciate it. It helps up the channel, and subscribe and turn them notifications on to be notified when we upload brand new content. Thanks for joining us here on Theme Park Worldwide, and that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.